Welcome back to the Patient First podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bryan Laskin, and as always, I am just excited that you're here. And this podcast is brought to you by Toothapps Connect. For the first time, take all of your applications, one login, one consolidated application so that you can get access to all of your data, and not just access to your data, but you can leverage your data for better communication, more profitability, and better patient care. Check it all out at toothapps.com. And I'm excited to talk about the event that I just came back from. So this week, I want to talk about an event that I went to about a week ago, was the time of this recording, called the Dental Pitch, which is part of the Dental Festival in New Orleans. Now, I was only there for 24 hours because I had to go to the Dental Pitch. I was a judge on the panel. That if you're not familiar with the Dental Pitch, it's a really cool concept. It's part of the Dental Festival. It's led by Elijah Desmond, the hygienist who's just a force in this industry, just a positive, inspiring guy that just like is a great connector, as we'll talk about in a little bit. But I had to move my daughter into college. So I flew back right after the event. In fact, I had to leave the event early. So thanks to everybody who accommodated me to be on the panel. But it was a great event. And I flew back early to take my daughter to college, which for those of you that have kids that are going to college now, this is my daughter's second year. And oh man, it's just great to see your kids, growing up and becoming more independent. And so for those of you that have going through that right now, it's just a great experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that, about kids going off to college. It's a different topic than we normally talk about, but so it's a tangent. But if you have comments that you'd like to make, I'd love to see those comments below this video. But back to the reason why I was there was the Dental Pitch. So I was on a panel of some just phenomenal leaders, and not just industry leaders, not just dental leaders. I've had the great honor of meeting some really large, influential people in business, really famous people, not famous people who are doing amazing things. And I would say that the people that had the honor of sitting next to on this panel were up there with anybody else. And so these are great people who really are inspiring, who are looking to do big, wonderful things for dental practices and for dental patients. Really do put patients first. And so I had wonderful conversations with them. So if you're on panel, one of the panelists, I had the honor to sit alongside. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing. Um, but the Dental Pitch is an event where several companies pitch their ideas, like a popular ABC show, right? And then a group of panelists like myself that ask questions, have the opportunity to invest in companies or help companies out, or tell them that it's not for me, right? And so I got to be part of this. I was representing Revere Partners, which is a phenomenal venture capital fund. It's the first and right now the only venture capital fund in dentistry. Check it out at reverepartnersvc.com, where you can invest in the entire sector of dentistry. I mean, it's a really unique idea where anybody, particularly in the industry, obviously, can invest in dental technologies. And I'm going to do a whole nother podcast on why I believe the dental innovation sector is a phenomenal sector to invest in. In fact, I can't think of another one except for maybe education technologies is right up there, but medical technology and in particular dental technology, I believe to be a really great time to invest in this sector. Now, I'm not obviously a financial planner, so don't take this as financial advice. It's just what I personally am doing. I was planning on diversifying more out of dental technology because I already invest a lot in, particularly in my own companies. But man, when I saw what they were doing at Revere Partners, when I learned more about the industry, I am just jazzed about it. So if you want to invest in dental technology, don't know where to go, or if you want to invest in the entire sector, Revere Partners is a great place to go. But I was there sort of on behalf of Revere, evaluating companies and talking with them because I'm part of several venture capital funds, both in dentistry, but then also outside. I serve as a medical or health technology advisor to a lot of companies because health technology is kind of my specialty, right? So I do a lot of talking to founders, and I had the honor of sitting at and listen to these great leaders pitch to us too. Great companies with great leaders who are vetted well by Elijah Desmond, the person behind and the team that put on the Dental Pitch. and the dental festival. And I was just impressed with the caliber of companies that were there. And frankly, I've been impressed with the caliber of companies that are coming into our industry. However, uh, what I find is that not many of them are dentists or dental professionals. If you are a dental dentist, if you're a dental professional and you're thinking about an idea, something that can change the industry, certainly reach out to me. Hook up with me on LinkedIn. We can talk a little bit. I love helping people who are trying to innovate dentistry who are from a clinical background because I think it's missing. We talked before about software designed by non-clinicians, which is almost all of it in dentistry, is basically completely not intuitive and problematic. So my favorite company at this event was dentist founded and dentist led, and wasn't a surprise to me. I mean, that wasn't why I liked this company. I just loved what they were doing. And frankly, half of what they were doing was outside of dentistry, was in medicine. And I just think that we in healthcare have more opportunity to innovate the space that we are intimately knowledgeable about. So if you are a dentist, if you're a dental team member and you want to innovate, reach out to me if you have an idea, or if you've started something and you don't quite know attractions. That's kind of what I like to do. And if you're looking at investing in the sector, definitely look at Revere Partners. But I can't talk about this event. I'm going in several different directions about this event, but I have to mention the great people involved. And I mentioned Elijah Desmond, the sort of force of nature that's in our industry of positivity that put this together. The caliber of the people on the panel were phenomenal, but but also the people that pitched and just the people that I met. Such great world class leaders, not just in dentistry, but in general, right? And again, Elijah Desmond, who's the brains and heart behind the dental festival, he puts it all on the line all the time. It's so much fun to see him bring all of these people together to directly help offices and expand patient care. And it falls definitely in line with what I'm calling Dentistry 3.0. If you're not familiar with that term, I'll quickly explain it here. Dentistry 1.0, I believe to be, I define as analog dentistry. What are the big transformations in analog dentistry? High speed handpieces, four-handed dentistry, loops. Analog dentistry is defined by those things that we deliver, you know, traditional dentistry. Now, that's still improving. Loops are getting better. There's, you know, better ways to practice four-handed dentistry. There's, new ways to set up a dental practice that's analog, high-speed handpieces are getting better. So it doesn't stop there. But what happened at a moment in time was Dentistry 2.0 came along. Dentistry 2.0, probably obviously, if Dentistry 1.0 is analog, Dentistry 2.0 is digital. Think digital charting, taking your paper charts, put it digital charts, digital schedules, CAD CAM, CT imaging, 3D printing, I would put in digital, or AI. And obviously, Dentistry 2.0 is going to keep evolving, especially those newer technologies like 3D printing and AI. That's rapidly evolving now. So just because we go from 1.0 to 2.0 does not mean that 1.0 stops. It keeps going just at a slower pace. And there's a huge transformation of increased revenue, higher patient care. As we went from 1.0 to 2.0, you can't argue that patient care is phenomenally better, that our practices are more profitable now, that there was a huge wave of innovation with digital. And the reason why I think we're going to hit another exponential rate of growth in our industry is we are entering Dentistry 3.0. Dentistry 3.0 is connected dentistry. It's medical dental integration, having our medical colleagues and our dental colleagues work together, having those one third of dental emergencies that end up in the ER get referred immediately to a dental practice to be seen or triaged with another great piece of Dentistry 3.0 technology, which is remote care. So, medical dental integration is one big theme. Remote care, think hygienist in a remote area where there's no dentist doing delivery of care and communicating remotely with a dentist via teledentistry. People that can't come into a dental practice or a nursing home, that remote care is going to expand. having dental practices on location at a pop-up place next to a large company, which is already going on. That's I would put in Dentistry 3.0. And this is all going to be facilitated by, I believe, what we're working on at Toothapps, which is interoperability, leveraging data, having a portable electronic dental record so that patients and dental practices have access to electronic dental record and have control over creating higher quality care, more complete care, closing the loop on referrals. All of this is interconnectedness. It's connected dentistry. And that's where I think of when I think of Elijah Desmond, when I think of the dental festival, when I think of the dental pitch, I just felt connected. And so it made me think of this next phase of dentistry as connected dentistry. And education's changing. There are great events like the dental festival where you can go and get connected to other human beings, but that's more about being connected and learning from each other versus another phase of change in dentistry in our education is going more 2.0 with education, like we do at Upgrade Dental. Micro learning, on demand learning. If I want to learn something, I don't want to wait 6 months to learn it. I want to go and see the most concise, on demand video education that I can to learn how to do that thing. If I want to learn how to do 3D printing, I don't want to wait for an event. I want to go online and see the course that teaches me all about 3D printing very succinctly, right? So that's what we do at Upgrade Dental. But the dental pitch, the dental festival is more about connectedness, Dentistry 3.0. I would definitely have you check it out. Check out the dental festival for next year. Check out Revere Partners if you want to invest in the sector. And obviously, if you want to get involved with the next phase of dentistry, connected dentistry, so you can have leverage of your data so that you can create better care, empower your patients, and free your team members from all the mundane work that they're forced to do. Go to toothapps.com. Thanks again for being part of the engaged dental community, for showing up here on the Patient First podcast. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next week right here. Take care.